Because people are saying, oh, he's running the same offense that Monken was running. Right?
Not true. Not true. I cannot stand when they say that.
And so I'm evaluating Deion Sanders from a values perspective. And his values are not in alignment with what makes a great team, what's sustainable. They're not in line with God.
Welcome to the Kerry Kinsey Show. We're talking Georgia Bulldogs. Rich Lenz and I get ready for Georgia-Auburn. We'll tell you why Bowers could go wild again, and we'll journey backward and see why this series is so special in my eyes. Is Bobo really using the same playbook that Monken did? We'll settle this once and for all. And how did Deion Sanders respond after eating a little humble pie? A life lesson is straight ahead. The Kerry Kinsey Show is next. Are you ready, players? Rich, I don't want to hear another Bulldog commentator tell me to relax. I've got no axe to grind. I've seen many teams over time. Been a part of UGA Auburn since it was Dooley and Die. In my hand has been either a ticket, a camera, or a moon pie. Was down there on the plains in '80 when Bell and Gilbert kept hope alive for a natty. Why the frown? Because in 2004 we're shooting on the sidelines for the Mark Rick show. This was a no-go. It was easy to see. We couldn't stop a Cadillac or a Brown. In '85, got a day off from doing the TV sports thing in Savannah, GA, and Bo ruined my day. He was having fun by going for 1, 21, and 2. Like other UGA fans, though, I can tell when my team's not true. This Bulldog machine is better now that the OC paid attention to the engine. Wait, weren't you one of the few who said Bobo wasn't using Bowers to his power?
And he's not even getting the ball.
I'm not a poet, and I know it, but my feet show it, that your honesty was a breath of fresh air among the fair weather fans who wear the red and black, who wouldn't call out the elephant in the room. Keep the touches coming to Brock. Everything else you hear is just a crock. Take a bow, Rich Lenz. Maybe Kirby heard you crow that 19 is where all balls should go.
I wasn't alone on that, but I was certainly upfront about it and vociferous about it, if you will, because it was such an obvious thing. It was so much fun to see Bowers with the ball. You know, he's just a strange guy. He just glides. He's so much faster than you think he would be, but he just glides. And all you got to do is get him the football. And they finally did that. Now, as far as your breathing, I would take a deep breath. They're still undefeated and have the longest winning streak in school history. So it's okay, Kerry Kinsey. You can take a breath, but you're right. You know, the only guy who could stop Bowers was Bobo. And somebody finally got a hold of him and said, enough is enough.
Fastest break on video. Smash the like button. Subscribe if new. Comment and share if you care.
But here's the point I wanted to make about Bobo, if I might, okay? Because people are saying, oh, he's running the same offense that Monken was running, right?
Not true. Not true. I cannot stand when they say that. Just cue up that game from South Carolina and tell me that's the same offense, baby. No way.
But Kerry, even if it's similar, here's what people don't understand about offensive coordinators, okay? There's two really huge parts to being an offensive coordinator. One of them is installing a playbook, right? Okay, so let's say 75% of the playbook is the same as it was on a Monken, right? Maybe it's 80%, maybe it's less, I don't know. But the second part and the key part to being a genius offensive coordinator is what you do when the clock starts ticking in a game. You can have the same plays, right? But you have to have the genius to know when to run those plays. in what order to run those plays. You have a chess match in your mind where you're 4 or 5 plays ahead. Monken had that. I'm not sure Bobo does.
Right. Good point. I mean, if you got a race car and it's top of the line, and you got a Jeff Gordon behind the wheel, and then you got Joe Jones off the street over here, who's going to make that thing sing? I grew up with Sullivan to Beasley. I mean, I watched a lot of great quarterbacks, Cam at Auburn, but this is probably the worst quarterback situation at Auburn University. You've got 3 guys who didn't combine for much more than 60 yards passing against A&M. You thought the Cal game was ugly. That was very hard to watch.
Yeah, and I look forward to Auburn because I still... Kerry, so Auburn's a good test. It's back in the SEC, ramping it up a little bit. Hugh Freeze in town. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Auburn is quite where they're going to be. Georgia Auburn ought to be entertaining.
I'm going to love it. I always love going down there. Loved them between the hedges. This is a matchup that is close to my heart. I've shot it many times. I grew up in Atlanta where Auburn had an incredible pipeline of talent. Something like over 124 Auburn players come from Georgia, anywhere from 2 to 5 stars. The Rockers. I mean, just an incredible legacy. I think if I were not a Bulldog fan, I'd probably be an Auburn fan. Every time I go to that game, those people are really good folks, and they respect this longest rivalry in the South, don't they, buddy?
Well, don't forget. Remember Pat Dye, Vince Dooley?
Yeah.
Pat Dye, Georgia boy. Vince Dooley, Auburn
boy, yeah.
It goes back a long time.
I know it. I love this game. This game tells me we are into SEC play right now, and this is when it gets real, buddy.
We'll be talking about a W next week, right here.
There you go. I watched a lot of college football over the weekend. My wife and I were just turning around all kinds of games. And
what a Saturday, huh?
It was great.
It never went away.
It was awesome.
This from the morning to the afternoon to the evening games.
Yeah. Wow, but that Bama Ole Miss game, Kiffin's got nothing.
A couple weeks ago, Kerry, I told you I thought that Saban pulled the plug on Milroe too quickly, and that he's done that in the past, and it's worked for him with Tua and others. And he just pulled the plug on Milroe. I thought it was too soon to do it, and I'm really glad that he changed his mind really quickly and went right back to him. Milroe's not there yet, but he's certainly the best they've got, and he's the guy that you got to grow with.
I mean, maybe they're the favorite now in the West. I was going with LSU for a while, but not so much now.
Kerry, my wife's graduated from LSU. Come on, I'm going with LSU. Get on that bandwagon. The best in the West, and they're going to prove it in Tuscaloosa.
Whoa, did you see Ohio State and Notre Dame? That's a game where I don't like either team, but that was a classic. That last touchdown play, I can't believe Notre Dame had nobody on that side of the ball.
They had 10 guys. Did you realize that?
I did.
They had 10 guys on the field for the last 2 plays.
Man, it cost them. It cost them big time.
They had 10 guys. They didn't have 11 guys on the field. Come on, coaches.
Okay, Rich Lands, we always appreciate you being on the Kerry Kinsey Show.
Absolutely, my friend. Class 82, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
If you have had any relationship with Christian faith, if you have any understanding, once you start making someone like Deion an idol or yourself an idol, you're coming up with a reason to abandon your values.
Well, we've all been down after a crushing defeat in sports and in life. I remember way before high school, I played football for the North DeKalb Chargers in the Atlanta suburb of Dorville, middle-class neighborhood, and we played the Atlanta Colts down near Brookhaven. Back then, they were the Plano, Texas of the Atlanta area. Lots of big houses, lots of money, lots of resources, and a lot of points. Maybe it was 50-0, I can't remember, but we got boat raced. You always learn about yourself in the valleys. That day I learned that we weren't very good. But after Colorado got crushed by Oregon, this was an opportunity for Prime to show some humility and quietly learn from that situation. I've covered a lot of college football, and I've seen many coaches do that when they had a crushing defeat. But it didn't happen here. Don't look at Deion. Listen to what he says.
I don't say stuff just to say it for a click, contrary to what some may say. But I keep receipts. But I'm serious. I analyze and I understand what we're up against and what we have and what we need. One thing that I could say honestly and candidly, you better get me right now. This is the worst we're going to be. You better get me right now.
Well, he's still keeping receipts on people. It's all about him. Got to get me now, not us. Recently, my wife did a video about Deion's Christian walk. It was very well done. Thank you, babe. She thinks he's a changed man. Let's pray that he is. Only God knows his heart. But I don't think he's there yet. All of this bragging and boasting is fine if that's who Deion is, and that's what he does well. But if he says he's given his life to Jesus Christ, then all bets are off the table, so to speak. You should see that in his actions, right? And I'm not the only one who's not buying the Christian side of Deion.
I'm looking at a man at 56 who has made himself an idol and has taken something negative, primetime. Because again, when you think of primetime and that persona he created as a football player, materialistic, no humility, in your face, I'm the greatest ever, and to still be thinking that way. And but it's men in general, because we all struggle with some form of idolatry. Deion's are just easier to spot and see because he's in the public light, he's doing interviews everywhere, he's on 60 Minutes, he's all over social media, he tapes himself doing everything. So he's a great topic to talk about to get people to understand how idolatry is wrecking your life. That's not great leadership from a coach. And so I'm evaluating Deion Sanders from a values perspective. And his values are not in alignment with what makes a great team, what's sustainable. They're not in line with God.
Yeah, and don't get your validation through a coach, a player, a team, a job, a car, or a friend, because eventually it or they will let you down. Yeah, I'm an Army brat, but I grew up in Atlanta, and I mean, we had like 187 combined seasons of 4 professional teams not winning a world championship until those 95 Braves pulled us through. Sports Illustrated called us Losersville, USA. Remember that? My dad and I went to a Braves game in the 70s where 900 people showed up. Sit anywhere you want. They let us down a lot. Multiple 100 lost seasons for the Bravos. Remember the bumper sticker? Go Braves! And take the Falcons with you. 28-3. Enough said. Put your trust in Jesus Christ. He'll never let you down. By the way, we shouldn't be called haters just because we don't agree with a certain narrative that is put out by this dishonest media. We have the right in this country to like or dislike what we want. That's the way it should be. Had a longtime friend look at our show the other day, and he said, you and Angela are doing the work of 14 people. He's right about that. Back when I started in the business in Florence, South Carolina in 1983, it took about that many folks to get a show out every night. We still need sponsors and employees and money. Would you consider donating to the Kerry Kinsey Show by sending your offering to the Kerry Kinsey Show, P.O. Box 6054, Jensen Beach, Florida 34957, or donate through our website at thekerrykinseyshow.com and look for the Give button. We're on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly Twitter. Thanks for watching The Kerry Kinsey Show, and remember, there's no hope for this world except in Jesus Christ. And pride goes before the fall, and pride is the mother of all sins. Jesus is Lord.